Would like to share my experience in doing my Canadian spouse PR application. So, if you are also an individual with a who is married to a Canadian citizen who is living out of Canada, also has solid communication proof in terms of WhatsApp messages, Viber messages, and other social media platforms to justify the 1 to 2 years of long distance relationship you have had, as well as if you have had a social event in terms of a wedding and has legit pictures with relatives. What I can say is that this application process is going to be very straightforward and easy for you. And in this video, I will be sharing the overview of it and the most initial steps that you need to follow in order to do this application. So, moving on, this actually the website has literally everything that you need to fill along with the instructions. So, the very first step that needs to happen is that you need to log in to this site. And over here you need to fill a few questions, so the system prompts the forms and documents that you need to fill. So in this section, who are you sponsoring? In my case, it was my husband sponsoring me, so it was my spouse, and I was all living in Sri Lanka back then. So you put the country here. So those are the most required fields. Since I have not lived in a different country, I don't have to answer this question. So once you click this, get checklist and forms, what happens is that the system actually prompts you this section. Okay, requirements. So in this one, you will see there will be multiple forms. Okay, this the hyperlinks you see are the forms. Also, there are a few forms here. So if we go one by one, since I have done this, I know exactly there's gonna be 6 forms, including the checklist. So the very first document is this one. This is very important because it says what forms to be filled, as well as information on the supportings you need to submit. So you need to download this. And then in terms of the sponsor, it says download and complete the PDF forms, digital sign along with this person you are sponsoring. Those informations we will talk in the future, and that person is supposed to fill this as well. So I have done a small graph, which is actually the one that I used. So let me take you all through that as well. So these are few, basic information, that I've used here. They are sample information, I would say. So first of all, you need to over here, this section, I kept a note of the form that I need to fill. So first of all, I noted down that the checklists need to be filled. So that is the checklist. Okay, that is the form number 5533, which is this one. Then moving on, you saw the sponsor has to fill this form and this form. Okay, each of them have specific reason, but first you need to know what are the forms that you need to fill. So application to sponsor, sponsorship agreement and undertaking, it's this one. And so I've said the sponsor has to fill it, and then the other one is the sponsorship evaluation and relationship questionnaire. It's this one. Again, the sponsor has to fill it. Okay, then over here, sometimes people tend to use external parties. For me, it didn't matter, so I did not have to fill this representative form. Then the person being sponsored, upload them to the online application, electronically sign the entire application, including those any other family members. Okay, and then the principal applicant. So in this case, my husband lives in Canada. He's my sponsor, and I am the spouse, they also refer the individual as the principal applicant. So in this case, I am the principal applicant or the primary applicant of this. So in this section, you see that person is supposed to fill the generic application form for Canada, which is this one. So I have said primary applicant. This is the number of the form, and then the general application form for Canada. And then the second one, it talks about the Schedule A background declaration 5669. Okay, it's this one. Again, I have to fill it. So, and then finally, this additional family information 5406. So these are the forms that I have to primarily fill. Okay, then if you go down further, you will see country specific requirements. So since I was not working for military services in Sri Lanka, I did not have to fill this form, as well as some instructions. So over here it says no specific instructions as well. So that is the very first step in this process. Okay, I by doing a file like this, it kind of really helped me to keep a track of all the files I had to fill and stuff. Okay, and now you have to create a permanent resident portal. So now say you fill these details, and the main point of communication is gonna be this portal. Okay, so for an example, now you know that there are certain forms that you need to fill. So then you would be like, okay, after filling, when am I going to submit them? You're going to use this platform to create an account and upload the files and submit it. Okay, so let me do a small example now. Okay, now in my scenario, what I have done is I have made you some dummy details. The sponsor name, who is the husband. Just make a note here. This is the husband, and who is the Canadian citizen. Okay, then this is the wife, who is in Sri Lanka. Okay, so the sponsor's name is Justin Pereira, primary applicant. The wife is Christina Gunathilaka. Quickly created an email, and in this case I created an email called christinagunathilaka@gmail.com. Okay, so now we go and create an account. Okay, now it's gonna send me a verification code. Let me verify it. Okay, so this is the code. Complete registration. So now you see, if you want to submit an application to become a permanent resident, what is the permanent residence? Use this portal. Okay, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. Okay, now I can log in. Awesome. So now we want to create an application for permanent residence. we are going to start a new application. So it says the application status initiated. So program under which you're applying is definitely family. Category is spouse. Are you applying under family class outside Canada? So it's important to know there are two types of applications you can do. If you are say your spouse is in Canada and you are also in Canada, then you can do the inbound application. But if your spouse is in Canada and you are out of Canada, like say in your home country, then you have to do the outbound application. So that's why I selected the family class outside Canada. Then and so it is asking for a name, so which I'm gonna give Justin and Christina. Okay, so now that application is created. So in this section, complete the forms, upload your supporting documents and information, review your information, and submit your application. So when they say complete the forms, they are referring to these 6 forms, as well as upload your supporting documents and information, which means that based on the information in the checklist, they are actually going to ask you for supportings, which is a list similar to this. These are actually the documents that I provided. You need to submit them, upload them, and then you need to review the information carefully and then submit the application. It is the final step. And so let's go down and see, select the permanent residence program. It shows the information that I've entered, and here we go. You do not need to fill out this page. Make sure you only filling out the forms that are needed for your program. So those are the forms that this checklist provided us with. Okay, these details. So they're asking only to fill the relevant ones. So when you're filling it, okay, some applications you can use this portal because there are text boxes you can type in, and the others you need to upload the scanned copies of the application after signing. So here M008, let's check whether we have it in a list of activities. Unique application form for Canada, mandatory for all programs. Okay, so this is a mandatory one. This one is mandatory for the program. Travel, schedule a background declaration. So let me see. Okay, that form is actually there. So 08 is this one, and then 5406 is this one. So let me highlight it. And then finally the schedule A 5669. Okay, let me see. Okay, this one, supplementary information your travels, 5562. Okay, see, it's not requesting, which means that I don't have to fill it. Okay, and at the bottom we'll see whether so like you saw, all these information are there, the forms are there, and then I have these 2 files under sponsor other than the checklist. So it says 1344, which is this one, and 5532, which is this one. 5533 is document checklist including dependent children. 5533, yes, it is the one. 5533 is our checklist. Okay, awesome. So literally we have to fill all of this, provide all of this, as well as fill all of this form. So 3 here and 3 here makes it 6. Okay, additional application form. So based on the request in the checklist, you need to provide them here. So you can actually select it and upload it. Okay, note there is a name convention as well. Okay, and remove row, delete, because it's not relevant at the moment. And then moving further down, I told you the checklist is going to ask me for the supporting documents, and in my case I have to provide these ones. So you will have to fill them, upload them here. Okay, and then finally note there is going to be a fee, and the fee is done separately. Over here you need to upload the receipt. Then also you need to sign off and submit it. Note that in my case I did the final submission. So based on the terms they use, if it's a sponsor or primary applicant, you need to ensure that the relevant individual completes their responsibilities and finally gets submitted. Okay, that when you're attaching supporting documents, the naming convention or the labeling convention is really critical, because the system over here, they are defining the way you should name your file. So if you look at this Excel, you will see the names that I have used. So the surname first, then a dash, then the first name dash, and the description. So this is primarily driven by the support, like the instructions given here, and you can also see a number at the end. Okay, so note that the naming convention in your label should be last name, first name, document type, and then number of it. Also, please make sure your documents are labeled properly. And also photos, back of one photo must contain the following and must be uploaded: bear the date of the photo taken, bear the name and date of subject, as well as the name and complete address of the photography studio. And the photographer may use a stamp or a handwritten the information, ideal if it's stamped. Okay, when you click here, it will actually open the instructions to taking your permanent residence photo. Honestly, in my case, even though I took it in Sri Lanka exactly by telling them to follow these instructions, they did not comply with them. So for my permanent residence card, once I landed here, they actually asked me to resend a new photo. Okay, and they also say the type of documents accepted and well as the size of the documents accepted. So the main takeaway is that the naming convention you need to use when doing the attachment. So I told you need to pay your fee separately, and it's through this portal. Over here, you can actually filter the category. Okay, over here you can go here, we help you to choose, answer your questions, and it will tell you the fee amount. Okay, so I'm going for spouse. So temporary work permit, live-in, apply use, passport, someone else. Okay, it's sponsor a family member. Okay, my spouse is going to sponsor me. Are you sponsoring spouse? Okay, my husband is going to sponsor his spouse. And then, do you want to pay the right of permanent residence fee now or later? My recommendation is definitely go ahead and pay it now, because once you have done all the payments, you don't have to worry. Okay, and one such payment you should actually do it and complete is this right of permanent residence fee. Okay, so I opt to say I pay it now. Then where will your spouse live while we process the application? So okay, so this is in my case, I told you I was not in Canada, and my application was an outside Canada application. Okay, remember, spouse family class outside Canada. In that case, I will select this. Okay, lives outside Canada right now or plans to leave Canada while the application is processed. Okay, the first option here is that my spouse is already living with me in Canada and will stay while the application is processed. And then, is your sponsor or common law partner bringing a dependent child with them to Canada? In my case, no. And do you need to pay for biometrics? So definitely make sure you pay all the fees at this point, so that you don't have to worry. Okay. So definitely make all the payments at this point. Continue. And then here you go. Okay, so this is the total amount that you're liable to pay. In this sponsor, spouse or partner, it includes the sponsorship fee, principal applicant processing fee, and the right of permanent residence fee, and also the biometric per person fee. Okay, so this is the amount you have to pay. And what you can do is, once you have done all these uploading all the documents, and you have reviewed through and have you are confident in the information provided, then you can go and make this payment, and you can download a receipt. That is the receipt you need to use to upload here. I think it's just about over here. Okay, so yeah, so I think in order to not make this video too long, I will stop here. I think I have covered the basic details, and what we will do next is we will go in my next video we will go through the checklist file, and we will start filling one by one of these forms separately, and then we will move on to the supportings requested by the checklist, and then also finally what are the other small payments you need to do, for example medical and stuff like that. And then at the very end I will share about my experience, the support that I got from WhatsApp group and Google Documents. So thank you, stay tuned for my next video. Bye.